What's up, everyone? It's your boy Business Gamer here. Today, we're going to talk about something which is a topic that I think is slowly dying out and needs to be addressed, and that's video game movies. Video game movies, whether you love them, hate them, think they're absolutely trash, are becoming something I'm always reading on about. For instance, we just got new footage of Henry Cavill in Witcher, which is a new Netflix series, which isn't a film, but I feel like they'll be shot very much like a film, like almost like Game of Thrones type. I've always seen a weird thing with video games when they go into the media of movies because they're usually just hated on. Like, I can't really think of any good ones besides the occasional outliers such as Angelina Jolie's Tomb Raider. But other than that, they've always been under scrutiny. And here's why. The main reason is that solely it's because they don't stay loyal to their fan bases. And that is true, I can see that, because at the end of the day, you're making these big budget films about games which sometimes have a niche market, like, for instance, Michael Fassbender's Assassin's Creed. You know, it's a big game, I get it, but, you know, you need to attract to someone who doesn't watch or play the games, you know, someone who doesn't know anything about Assassin's Creed, and make them want to buy a ticket, because at the end of the day, it's a business, the movie industry. It's not really gonna try and just make a hardcore movie for the fan base, because they know that's not gonna hit their potential profits on return. They want something that attracts to everyone, from a 10-year-old boy who's never even played Assassin's Creed, only knows Fortnite, to a hardcore average fan. However, they don't really make one that attracts everyone, or anyone for that matter. It ends up becoming something that's a bit wishy-washy, constant change of directors, and no really strong narrative, which I've always found weird, because if you compare it to, you know, your Harry Potters, your Lord of the Rings based on books, they've managed to make something that attracts both fans of the books as well as just avid moviegoers. You know, there's tons of people who watch Harry Potter films who've never even read a book, but still call themselves fans, and, you know, are less hardcore than the people who buy the brooms so they can play Quidditch in the park and read all the books. To be honest, I wish I had an answer. I don't know what's the case with video game movies, but I feel like they can never ever do well, because there's always so much things going for them, whether it's the casting, the director, the story, because with it as well, video game media is different in my books, because it's very similar to, it's an interactive movie you're playing. So, you know, you're going to get a lot of people saying, well, I played this, why would I watch it if they tell the same story? Or you got someone who's like, no, that's not how it's supposed to go. And as well, the fanboys and fan bases are a lot harsher in video game, so they're not going to really take to it if they don't like it that much. I think the problem is, and I've always wanted to see for instance, I've always wanted to see a Mortal Kombat movie. However, you know, I think there's just too much character, you know, loyalty there. If they do Scorpion wrong, they'll get executed. If they don't give Sub-Zero enough screen time, they'll get executed. I mean, you know, they could take a book out of Marvel, perhaps. You know, Marvel have managed to, you know, make their characters more interesting. However, I know a lot of hardcore Marvel fans who don't like the MCU, mainly because of what they do. They've toned down the violence. They've made it more kid-friendly, so they can obviously sell toys and, you know, attract more consumers. Can you imagine if they made Mortal Kombat friendly, kid-friendly, like a 12A? I don't even think it'll make $1 profit. So that is the big concern. But, you know, I always say to people, the best video game movie, and I might lose all of my 3 subscribers here, is Angry Birds movie, because that is completely different, and I didn't expect that. I laughed, I enjoyed it, mainly because it hasn't got the pressure of telling a narrative, because not a lot of people who played Angry Birds, ironically, on their phones, didn't know the story that much. You know, it had that creative development for the directors, for the writers, that this is a complete blank slate with obviously set characters, but we can do whatever we want with these guys. We can, you know, we can tell our own little story and have our movie be the backstory for the game, and it's worked really well. I'm really looking forward to the second one, if I'm honest. So that's the problem. I feel like Netflix now are going to pick up on video games and make almost like mini-series, like what they're doing with Witcher at the moment. I can see them doing it with Mortal Kombat. I'm really hoping they do that. as well as other games and other stories. So yeah, that's been Business Gamer today. Please like, subscribe and share. If you're listening on SoundCloud, subscribe on that too, and hopefully see you guys later.